Good morning, everyone. Hey, welcome to the Be Weird broadcast. Thanks so much for joining us today. I hope you're having a fine and lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever the hell you're coming in from across the world. I'm Be Weird. We do variety content here, news and politics in the morning. This side is some good Java. And we're super tapped into the trucker convoy movement, the Freedom Convoy, everybody. Now, I can't believe this is still going on. And actually, today we got a lot to cover because things are spicy, very spicy right now. So spicy. I've come across some stuff that is like literally freaking me the fuck out. So hopefully you got a strong stomach because not all of this is chill, but we're going to try to keep it chill. Might have some lefties, might have some rightoids in the chat. You're all welcome. We're gonna try to keep it civil, trying to keep it peaceful, and yeah, try to learn from one another. And if I go on any rants, it's all coming from love, you know. It's just just trying to get my wrinkles in my brain, you know. All right, so I got a bunch of news lined up. Good morning, Jay Roach. How you feeling today? Lone Sentry Music asks, why are there no live streams from Ottawa? Lone Sentry, oftentimes police will like kick out any independent journalists, any mainstream media, so that they're not sort of live broadcasting police actions. It makes it really hard to sort of maneuver tactically. From some of the rumors I'm hearing, apparently there was a Trojan horse that was used, like propane's being confiscated, tickets are being issued. So we're gonna find out what the hell is going on. But yeah, unfortunately, especially this early in Canada, like, I mean, nobody's had their coffee yet, you know. We kind of have to go. I gotta work during the day, so I gotta go back. By the time I have my live streams start to come out, but they're usually late, like noon or something. So we'll get as close as we can. News is still news based on how much you understand, and I definitely will have some new information unless you were like doom scrolling like at 12 last night, okay? So this is all the stuff that's been happening kind of like in the after hours, which is often like when media is going home, you know, go tuck in the kids or, you know, charge your batteries, that kind of stuff, and stuff usually pops off in the evening. So we're gonna see what news there is today. Let's get into it. Just gonna kill the tunes, bring that over. All right, we Gucci. So yeah, this is the first news story for today, and I think it's a good one to start off with because Ottawa declares state of emergency. This is where we're at in Canada.
Breaking news, a state of emergency declared in Ottawa 10 days after the occupation over COVID-19 mandates and restrictions started. The mayor says the city needs help and police step up the pressure.
Good evening. That's not the only breaking news development tonight as the convoy's presence in the capital enters week 2.
The Rideau Centre in Ottawa has been closed for more than a week now and is confirming tonight it will stay closed tomorrow.
Wow.
A day-to-day decision as the anti-mandate protest holds steadfast.
The state of emergency declaration late this afternoon reads like this. The serious danger and threat to the safety and security of residents posed by the ongoing demonstrations and highlights the need for support from other jurisdictions and levels of government. The declaration also accelerates the buying process for the city to get more equipment to frontline workers and first responders. We're joined now by Ottawa Mayor Jim Watson. Thanks for being with us, Mr. Mayor.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking.
Mayor Watson, what can you say to the residents of Ottawa to convey this isn't strictly a formality and is a means to an end?
Well, the state of emergency is an administrative tool that we have at the municipal level.
They're really trying not to call in the army. You're really trying to rely on city police, on your local judiciary, keep things as close to the ground as possible between like claims of criminal activity and the actual prosecution of those claims. And I think that's why the mayor is issuing the state of emergency to give the police powers more, to give the police more power. But let's see what he says. Maybe I'm wrong.
To cut the red tape and procurement policies and bylaws so that if we need equipment, we can get it right away without going through a tender process, looking for 3 bids. A good example is during the flooding, we were able to get sandbags, trucks. For the pandemic, it was PPE and masks and so on that we didn't have to go through a long, drawn-out process. We're in the midst of a serious emergency, the most serious emergency our city has ever faced. And we need to get moving much more quickly and much more proactively to bring order back to the streets. And this is one way of doing it. And
Law and
I know
order.
that all my colleagues in council support the initiative because I had a chance to talk to them over the course of the last several hours.
All right, bluntly put, though, at this point, is it not fair to say City Hall and the police service do not have control over this situation?
Wow.
And how do you intend to get it back, if not by force? Negotiations don't appear to be working so far.
Well, the police are taking a much more aggressive stand. As you know, that shack that you're seeing right now has been moved out of Confederation Park. Just a few moments ago, there were at least 3 charges. 2 individuals bringing gas into the red zone from Metcalf Street. Those individuals and their gas were confiscated. And just finished speaking to the chief of police. They have to be much more aggressive in terms of these fines. I believe over 400 tickets were issued.
400 tickets.
Get killed or seriously
Holy
injured
cow.
because of the irresponsible behavior of
finally.
some of these people who are honking their horns and destroying the fabric of neighborhoods. You know, imagine living through that hell time and time again for 10 days. So
the way that someone put it on Twitter, I really wish I remembered it. This is not my thought. It's someone else on Twitter. I wish I could find it. I was on my phone. But he said, if your freedom frightens others, it's not freedom. Sheesh. Like, what a great definition.
They're taking a much more aggressive stand. I support them on that. They need to be more aggressive because these individuals you cannot reason with. They seem to be completely unreasonable.
Completely unreasonable.
Try as we might.
We have waited a week for reasons and arguments, and we ain't gotten them. We gotten a lot of, like, fuck off, fuck Trudeau and stuff like that, right?
Right, to be helpful. They're digging in, and that's why we're taking action, as I
Can't hear, but know he has lied already. Well, Thomas, thanks for letting everyone know where you stand. But hey, maybe we'll find out with all this stuff I have in the background just how much of a lie it is. I don't know. We'll see.
Said the shack on NCC property is gone. That area is going to be cleaned up, and we're going to be much more strict in terms of getting diesel fuel taken away from the red zone so that those trucks can't continue to have their motors running,
damage
causing such despair amongst.
Wait, are you saying the truckers are not truckers? Are you saying this is all like lefties pretending, like wearing, like flying Trump flags and all that stuff? I know the Olympics are happening, but I don't think they've allowed mental gymnastics as one of the categories. I don't think mental gymnastics is still, like, has been allowed in. So you might need to appeal to them because I feel like you're a really good athlete. The truckers protesting, feed the homeless, cleaned statues. I mean, you're admitting that they fucked them up. Leave lanes open. I mean, we watched a video yesterday of someone literally berating people with bicycles, blocking his path on his way to go block a major artery of Vancouver. And then he almost hit one of them with his truck because he was so frustrated. So I don't know. I disagree with you. Just straight up.
Our residents in the city of Ottawa. And we've seen just the behavior of some of these individuals. They're anti-Semitic and racist taunts. Stores that are suffering terribly. Individuals who cannot go out for grocery shopping are senior citizens. So we also need more police. I'll be speaking with the provincial and federal officials tomorrow.
Good.
We'll get a rundown of the exact number that the chief is requiring.
Loud Tyrant Youth, how are you doing this morning? They also apparently made a 10-minute ambulance trip, 45 minutes, costing the patient to not survive early in the protest. Yeah, I forgot about that. So were they really leaving the lanes open? Yeah, I think one of the clearest, I think Hong Kong set the standard during their protests for how well a crowd can deal with emergency vehicles. You ever watch the Hong Kong protests? They like worked, they made it better. Like they like were so good. It's like watching like Germans get out of the way for emergency vehicles. They all like perfectly like do the zipper, like all on that one side, all on the other side, and like way early. Whereas Canadians are always like, oh, I'm trying to merge, or like not even paying attention. It's always so embarrassing. But yeah, it's our right to be here. It's that person's right to medical care. Yeah, this is exactly where we're seeing like where one person's freedom is like harming another. Yeah, someone's died already. Like let's be real here. We're about to get into heavier stuff, Loud Tyrant Youth. If you stick around, I got a really spicy, very spicy thing coming up. Holy. Government who had business closed down for 2 years? Yeah, been pretty long and rough, eh, Thomas?
It's not dozens, it's hundreds. We have to go at this much more aggressively. And the Premier and the Prime Minister both told me
Nice to
that
see their
whatever
tantrums
we
almost over.
need, they will deliver. So
I don't think their tantrums over Old Raven Farm, but welcome to the stream. I think they're going to be kicked out. They're going to continue to be frustrated. On Tom's point, but yeah, for sure.
To deliver for us, we need more boots on the ground, have a greater police presence to deal with some of the completely illegal activity that we're seeing in many parts of the city.
You mentioned them being unreasonable. We know police say they speak frequently with organizers. Do you have regular and direct communication with them? And if so, how do those talks go?
Good question.
No, I don't. I don't think it's my role as the mayor to go and start negotiating.
Who's talking to these people? Who's their negotiators?
I've suggested to the federal government we need some high-profile, independent mediator to go in and sit down. I understand why the Prime Minister wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't in his shoes. But we need someone that has of some great reputation to go in and sit down to try to find some reasonable compromise. At the end of the day, it's going to require a combination of enforcement to a certain degree, as well as compromise. And
there is a really interesting thread I came across about that word compromise. And I'll see if I can dig it up. It was a really interesting perspective from someone who had studied at Harvard for negotiation tactics. I'll see if I can grab that.
Cutting off the supply lines of these people. We can't allow them to have barbecues and turn this into a real carnival. It's an absolute disgrace when they're bringing in bouncy castles and hot tubs and
ridiculous
saunas. Complete insensitivity to the people who are going.
Yeah, what an insane thing to do. You've lost all moral argument when you're just having a laugh and there's old folk just a crumb, please. I just need some bread. It's people are gonna get super pissed at you. Okay, next up, Ottawa police issue more than 450 tickets in connection with anti-mandate protests. We covered that earlier, or at least we heard that from the horse's mouth. Oh, I don't know how much we can deal with this.
Residents are raising concerns
this is very
about
mainstream.
Intimidation and reports of assaults. They say police are not enforcing the law by allowing this to continue. Former Ottawa Police Chief Charles Bordelot is here to give us some insight into police
chief.
operations.
Yeah, I'll listen to that. So there are people. Preach. Yeah, maybe Preach joins us later, Old Raven. I think you'd like him. His name is Preach. So there are people out there that want mandates for a shot who has document in abundance of deadly adverse reactions. Amazing. Who has document in abundance of... I'm not sure I understand, Thomas. Sorry.
Thank you so much for joining us, Chief. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, Mercedes. Good morning.
You're saying there's people who want to mandate a shot where we have lots of documentation that there are deadly adverse reactions. Yeah, Tom, as the saying goes, what doesn't kill you mutates and tries again.
Been quite a week here in the capital. The police have actually come out and said that they feel they can't enforce certain laws because these are such dangerous protests. I don't think that that's something...
No, it's just nature. Just nature. Nature is intense. Humans have sheltered ourselves from nature, and that's not going to last forever, right? It's going to puncture our little bubble of security.
That people in the city of Ottawa ever thought they'd hear a police chief come out and say that the police, who we call when we think something is breaking the law to help us, are unable to take this on because they believe it is too volatile and too high of a risk of violence.
Lost revenue to Rideau in 7-day concert, almost 20 mil?
What are your thoughts on how policing in the capital has been handled over the last 9 or so days?
This type of demonstration or occupation now, as some people are calling it, including myself, is something that we've never seen in our city. In my 35 years of...
Former police chief has never seen something like this in 35 years.
Policing in Ottawa is something that we've never seen in our city. In my 35 years of policing in Ottawa and 7 as chief, we've never faced that type of situation in Ottawa. And I think what the big difference here is that as opposed to people snake marching down in the downtown core during a regular demonstration, there were trucks doing that and they stayed there. So that's one.
Right. That's the key difference. Usually manifestation, protests, you have a route that you submit to the police if you're being really kosher, or you are going to occupy a particular park. And it's cool for people to occupy parks because that's what parks are designed for. But our streets aren't designed for cars to just be parked on them. That's what parking lots are for.
Aspect. The other aspect, and you touched on that, is the impact that this has had on the residents in the surrounding neighborhood. There's incidents of threats, intimidations, there was assaults, there was reported hate crimes, there were flags being thrown about.
There was a video on Twitter that was posted on Friday night that basically
this is super
showed
boring.
protesters
We're going
kind
to
of
skip on this. Quebec City Convoy ordered to leave the National Assembly. We were asked to demonstrate peacefully. That's what we did, organizer says. Large trucks and convoys were seen honking and driving away from the National Assembly after Quebec City police ordered them to leave the area by 5 p.m. on Sunday. Earlier in the morning, police told those parked in front of the Quebec National Assembly that if they didn't move, they could face fines and towing. At least 24 heavy trucks were still there by Sunday afternoon as the protest in the provincial capital rolled into its 4th day. So less than 50. Jeez. Protesters, many carrying signs or waving flags, began gathering in the morning. Most had left the area by 5:30 p.m. The previous night, drivers had been honking loudly until 10 p.m. when police ordered them to stop. Honestly, so far, this sounds like an ideal protest. Really annoying, took over the center square, but left when police asked them to, didn't keep blaring the horn. They didn't even go up to 11, which is like curfew, I think, in Montreal. So maybe curfew is just earlier in Quebec City, like for sound and stuff. But that's super respectful. But I think I even heard earlier, like a judge being like, if I were to allow honking, there's like an injunction happening in the courts. He's like, if I were to allow honking as like protest, it would only go to like 12. I can't imagine 12 hours of this stuff, much less a whole bloody week, you know? More roads need to be blocked. Robert, a lot of conservatives were pretty strongly against blockades just 2 years ago. Why are they so for them nowadays? Pink Pineapples acts, apparently the last protest of this size was in the 90s? No. No way, man. I mean, just look at the climate march in Montreal, in my city, when Greta Thunberg arrived, was 500,000. It was the largest protest in Canadian history, I believe, or second largest maybe. It was This is what crowds look like if any of this shit loads. But yeah, like look how big these crowds are. Like they think. Like, the truckers are coming in. Like, look how many there are of us. You don't even know. You don't even know. This is sped up. I'm going to speed it up again. Look at this. That's a full-on river of humanity. Boomers are to blame. Yeah, I mean, there's some boomers in the chat, so be careful, Lone Sentry. You might, you might catch some shit over that. But yeah, boomers have definitely not handed over an ideal political system apparatus. Bush had a ton of people. Bush? What do you mean Bush? This is Canada. You talking about George Bush? But yeah, look at this. This is still going. We're like not even halfway. And this is just one street. I cannot get across how insanely large the Montreal Climate March was. Still goes. So truckers just haven't been to enough protests to really like kind of understand. Like, look, does this look the same? There's like a few people standing. You know what I mean? Like a couple dozen trucks, I think we saw. All right, we're moving on. Breaking. As of midnight tonight, police will be cutting off the fuel supply to Convoy occupation supporters. Anyone bringing gas, diesel, and or propane will be charged with assisting an illegal activity. This could be a game changer. And from what I'm understanding, gas is red cans and diesel is yellow. And propane are those big metal round cylinders that are super heavy. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for the diesel ones because those indicate, you know, semis or heavy machinery. So let's watch this video. Oh, the protest against Bush? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, you're confirming me on Loud Tyrant Youth? All right. And you only attack boomers and they attack you? Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the generational divide is real. Oh, look, some yellows in a sled. That's so Canadian. Okay, so these guys are going to get in trouble. I think it's what we're going to watch.
So they're saying at midnight tonight, they're not going to allow anybody to bring in.
Oh, you got a nice full warning.
They're not going to allow anybody to bring in any more fuel. So no propane, no gas cans. Anybody that brings in fuel will be charged with assisting in illegal activity.
Did you hear that? Anyone bringing in fuel will be charged with assisting an illegal activity. I've also heard like another charge about like something about like helping mischief or like aiding and abetting mischief. It's like a really odd term. The left know how to do it, gets the job done. Yeah, Robert, the left, just because of labor movements, has a longer history of activism and protest.
Because what they're claiming is that this convoy is illegal. So they're saying, now those cops said that they were not going to enforce it today. They wanted them to start enforcing it today. They said no. But at midnight tonight, anybody that's bringing...
Did you hear that? They wanted them to start enforcing it today. They, as in the mayor and the administration, and the police is giving them yet more time.
Jerry cans,
wow.
Propane tanks, fuel of any kind is assisting in illegal activity. The fuel will be seized and you will be charged.
Diesel included.
Diesel included.
Thank you.
What's that, sir?
Fill up all the cars now?
People can't even hear each other, like not even a meter away.
Fill up all the cars today. If you need to get fuel, get your fuel in today.
Wow. Honestly, it's actually sensible for the police to be like, no, we have to spread the word and make sure that people can fuel up so that they can drive their stuff out. We want them. Oh, thanks, Old Raven. That's sweet of you. All right, we're moving on. We are moving on. We got some Russell Brand up a bit later when we need a pee break. But for now, apparently people are being arrested. Several people arrested for bringing gas to Freedom Convoy demonstrators in Ottawa, police say. Ottawa police arrested several people on mischief charges, yeah, there it is, for bringing material goods to the Freedom Convoy demonstrators as police begin to crack down on the supply of fuel materials flowing into the downtown core. Loud Tyrants You says, it also makes sense to have time to disperse the fuel stockpile. Oh, very good point, Loud Tyrant Youth. Thanks for that sub, Pink Pineapples. I'm not sure why my alerts aren't going off, so sorry about that. Not sure what's up there. We did have some follows from yesterday, so we'll play it just so you can see what it's like. See? Yeah. Oh, I'm kind of like blocking it. There we go. Yeah, thanks for the follows. I appreciate it. It's a protest for freedom, ZP says, not just a big party. Hey, don't call people idiots in the chat. But yeah, it's definitely a party at this point. I don't know what bouncy castles are for. I've never heard of a bouncy castle brought to like a protest for freedom. That's insane to me. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Bouncy castles equal party. I'm pretty sure that's the equation. I studied math when I was a kid, and I remember that learning in grade 9 math. Every time you see a bouncy castle, you just put an equal sign, and on the other side of the equal sign is the word party. Demonstrators have been using vehicles, wagons, and sleds to transport gasoline cans and propane canisters to trucks inside the red zone around Parliament Hill as the 10-day demonstration against COVID-19 vaccine mandates continues. Police announced on Twitter Sunday afternoon that, quote, anyone attempting to bring material supports to the demonstrators could be subject to arrest. Enforcement is underway. No, it's a good idea to give them a warning. I think Loud Tyrant Youth had the best point, which is like, they got a big stockpile of fuel. It's going to give them a chance to spread it, fuel up their stuff so they can get the fuck out. That's my reading. Okay, so this is some stuff from Lefty News. Gird your loins. Anyone who's sympathetic to the convoy. This is just stuff I've been coming across. Of course, counter-protesters are starting to, this says, harasses an Ottawa cop and accuses him of trading the kid's future. This allegedly is a truck driver intentionally driving through a cyclist. I'm not sure I can show this, so I'm going to look at it in the background, and you guys can listen to this. So again, this is like a lot of like, I think leftists going out and protesting and stuff. So I just gotta grab this guy.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
That's kind of
I'm part of the dirtbag left. I don't give a fuck
dirtbag left.
Yeah, I'm part of the dirtbag left.
Oh, that's
I'm part of the dirtbag left. I don't give a shit. You're all losers.
If you're Canadian, I told you, you're not Canadian, you're a fucking globalist.
Globalist.
You're a clown.
Globalist.
This guy just assaulted me. This guy just assaulted me. This guy just assaulted me.
Oh boy.
You look like the fringe minority.
Discourse.
Yeah, and you look like a loser.
You're not Canadian. You're not Canadian.
That's the worst comment. You're not Canadian. Yeah, man, we're all Canadian here. Most of us are. Almost everyone showing up to this protest are Canadian. Like, let's be real.
Canadian, you're a globalist.
Yeah, exactly. Who's the pussy? I'm here by myself, loser.
Woo. True. Hey, I don't like hearing the F slur. Jesus.
I'm here by myself.
All right, so it's a bunch of people beefing. Who cares? And that's pretty much the vibe if you're a counter protester. So we can watch this, and it's not as shocking as I thought it'd be, but it is, I'm pretty sure, a crime. I'm pretty sure this is a crime we're going to watch. You see some protesters. This guy is extremely brave. I'm pretty sure that's a crime that was just committed. You can't actually push someone with your vehicle. That's just criming. That's just criming. I think what people who might defend this would say, like, well, geez, nobody got hurt, so what's the problem? All it would have taken is for his right foot to get stuck right behind that tire, right there. As soon as he trips and that guy just goes a bit further, he might have gotten crushed and faced extremely serious injury. Like, this thing weighs like 4 tons. Like, I don't think people realize how powerful all these things are. He's just on a bike putting his body on the line. So yeah, I think that's a perfect example of the way that the left and the right are approaching this. The left are coming with fucking bicycles and putting their bodies on the line, and the right is just slowly pushing them over with the obnoxious weight of their semis. Just like, fuck you. You ain't stopping me because I can kill you right now. That's the vibe I'm getting, and it's very worrisome. Okay, we're keeping on this tack. The low IQ trucker clown show is getting interesting, though. Well, Rob, let's see how long you hold that opinion, because we got some scary stuff coming up. Nice way to lose a commercial license? Yeah, absolutely. People are going to track that person down, put the license up, and say, like, hey, employer, are you comfortable with someone using your vehicle to threaten and intimidate bodily harm against someone they don't even know? And the employer's going to be like, yeah, probably not. True, a trucker can't see shit in front of the truck. I mean, as you could tell, there was like a bunch of people who had clearly kind of like moved out of the way, and this was like the last man standing of the bike blockade. So he knew, and you can tell by the way he's inching forward. But yeah, once you get into the front of that cab, he actually has no visibility. He's just assuming. He's just hoping, and absolutely something very serious could have happened. Huge blind spots. Yeah, of all the driving scenarios that have blind spots, it's fucking transport. Okay, so this is from On Guard for Thee. This is a lefty Canadian Reddit subreddit. Just an anecdote. I made a counter protest sign and stood on the street corner outside my home downtown today. Had about 5 cars swerve at me. Couple cars made like they were going to pull over and get out, but then kept on driving. Got called an F slur a couple times, lots of middle fingers, and someone flashed the white power sign at me, okay? Lots of the Freedom Convoy people heckled me, but I couldn't hear them over their own horns, lol. A few of them were over 9,000 raging at me. I think he just means like apoplectic, like very pissed off. The thought I could get shot, stabbed, punched in the back of the head, ran over by a car definitely crossed my mind today, but I felt compelled to let these people who felt the need to terrorize my neighborhood know how much they suck. As much as they claim to be peaceful, they really seem to want to fuck me up pretty bad, lol. Also, I hate how they have co-opted the Canadian flag. That really pisses me off. Anyways, just wanted to share, signing off. But I went out there, held a sign, spoke my mind, and was actually confronted with threats and racist bullshit, but I might. It felt good letting them know how much they do, in fact, actually suck. And here is their source. Oh, you've driven them? So yeah. I've only ever been in one. And it was only a cube van, actually. So I actually don't even know. Yeah, I remember seeing this person. So yeah. This person's just like holding a sign, and it sounds like they had a pretty bad day for it. Okay, more lefty subreddit. This is amazing. Unvax sperm is the next Bitcoin. Okay, who here is on board with this? I think these people are onto it. I really wish that this message wasn't getting spread because, I mean, geez, like a gold rush. Am I right? You know, I've driven bunk trucks and dump trucks. Lol. Okay, yeah. So you definitely know. Yeah, for sure. For real. So yeah, everybody get in now. Get in on the ground floor while you still can. Unbacked sperm is the next Bitcoin. You heard it here first. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like when police confiscate the fuel from a trucker.
You take those cans off of that truck.
I'm going to go pee.
Is that your property?
Oh, this is already
It is
amazing.
now. So you have the right to take gas cans off of a trucker's truck. Is that correct? It is correct. According to what? Aiding and abetting criminal? A criminal offense. So now when you have gas cans on your truck, it's a criminal offense.
Yeah, why? Why is empty gas cans a criminal offense, guys?
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
We're not doing nothing
Way
wrong.
far back. You know, although when people steal things from others, I generally like to get involved, to be quite honest. So you steal gas cans off somebody's truck, according to some new law, aiding and abetting.
It's not a new law. You guys don't even know the law, guys.
Oh wow! So please, how the hell do you explain to your families? How do you explain to your families that you're taking fuel off the trucks of the truckers that are fighting for the freedoms of Canadians?
Of your kids, your children, guys.
How do you explain it? Anybody?
You guys like hiding behind masks or what?
Oh no, that's
What are
okay.
you hiding?
They have a job to do. They're keeping us safe, right?
Yes, you're keeping
Yeah,
us
I know.
Thank
It's
you
all
for
for our safety, and you're keeping us safe. Thank you for stealing that trucker's gas cans to keep us all safe. Really appreciate that, guys. Wonderful.
Why is it just this?
Just beautiful.
This guy's losing
Kingston
it.
Police.
This is amazing.
Kingston Police.
This is in Kingston?
You don't know how to grab it.
This
Grab.
guy's name's Trudeau.
I know. I seen that
That's
earlier.
kind of cool.
Don't cover your
Actually,
badge.
it doesn't matter. Because
Never mind license,
now
insurance?
are
Yeah.
the patches, are they sewn in or are they Velcroed in? They're sewn in. Okay, well that seems legitimate. That seems legitimate.
Not this corporation. When will you realize that?
Can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. Seriously? These guys just took 2 gas cans off of a trucker's truck, saying it's illegal because they're aiding and abetting criminal behavior or something.
Jesus, the police articulated suspicion of a crime and then confiscated evidence in pursuance of the investigation to determine whether a crime took place. Holy shit, you guys, this is fucking tyranny, everybody. Oh my god. The police are exercising their powers. Think about how much of a logistical nightmare it is for the police to remove all of the containers. Yeah, exactly. You just want to, you sort of like, you got free labor right there. You're going to incentivize everybody to do the labor for you by threat of punishment.
Kingston Police.
Fucking police.
Here in Ottawa.
Fucking police, man.
Honestly, taking gas cans from the truckers. How y'all feel?
What a, like, man, people have gone through some shit, and this guy is losing it over having a bit of gas, propane. Just so fucking embarrassing. Like, people have had their heads cracked in by police. Like, fuck, man.
Feeling about that? Taking gas cans from the back of a truck. Feeling okay about that? Do you like that the truckers are sticking up for the freedoms of Canadians? You're just gonna keep the stare face, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cute. You know?
This guy doesn't know what to do.
My name's Jim Kerr, and I give a shit about Canadians. How do you feel?
Whoa, aggressive.
Hi, my name's Jim Kerr, and I care about human beings, especially ones that are trying to keep themselves warm in a truck.
Do you hear his voice like jumping an octave? Especially ones who try to just fuel their trucks, okay? We've been fighting for centuries to fuel our trucks, and the powers that be won't let us fuel them. It's like, what the fuck is happening? I seen pictures of the stockpiles in Ottawa. Imagine if it caught fire and blew up. Well, Lacey, we'll get into that. We'll get into fires coming up. Some pretty messed up stuff is coming. Tube Sock says, it is interesting to see the party atmosphere has changed into one of panic amongst the protesters. Yeah, I don't think, like, I remember mentioning last week, like, we're going to see the mettle of these protesters tested once the police come out and start to, like, enforce the law, essentially. They took gasoline, so it's not tractors it got taken from. That's a good point. Yeah, gasoline wouldn't be used for tractors for sure. Why was he only getting in the face of women police officers? It just might have been the one standing on guard, but yeah, might be misogyny as well. Most of these people have never protested before. They'd be surprised at how effective tear gas is. Yeah, tear gas is serious. He didn't have the balls to do that to the male officers. Yeah, probably.
while fighting for the freedoms of Canadians. How you feel?
He feels emboldened by his cell phone. The term that we use, Laura, is cry bully. It's not cry baby, it's cry bully. It's someone who uses a status of victimization, no matter how flimsy the rationale is. Like right here, the rationale is that, you know, his fuel was taken. So he's not really being victimized. It's not really like he himself is getting hurt. It's just some properties being taken away. But he's using it as an opportunity to bully people. So we call them cry bullies.
Why do you do what you do?
Why?
It's just your job, right?
She just following orders.
Keep people safe.
Nuremberg 2.0.
Yeah.
This is George Orwell's 1964 Animal Farm Crossing.
Yeah. Wow. And there you go. And there you go.
Get in those faces. What, you ain't gonna confront the dudes? Yeah, called it. Where, call the ambulance. You want some wine with your cheese? Yeah, exactly. You can. Now's the time for memeing. Meme work makes the dream work.
Big gang of thugs.
Wow.
Taking fuel from the truckers right off their trucks while they're not there.
Okay.
Big gang of thugs. Big gang of thugs.
Oh God, I got the best clip for this after.
Just took the gas cans off of that truck. I watched it with my own eyes. This is what's happening downtown Ottawa.
Can you believe this, everybody?
Not cool.
Can you believe this?
Aiding and abetting criminals? These people who come all the way across the country.
Okay, this man cannot handle. This is exactly what I'm thinking about right now, this entire time. Support for the convoy from Lafayette, Louisiana. Keep up the good work, truck drivers. We're all following. Hey, welcome to the stream, Golf and Crypto. When that guy was complaining about the, like realizing how police work and how they can like take your shit to investigate crimes, this is what's going through my head. That's how you became a king.
Hanging on to outdated imperialist dogma.
Oh, he stated his name? Oops. Oh my God, I don't care if I get DMCA'd for that. That is such a good clip. Oh my God, it's so bloody funny. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I was thinking about when we were watching this. Just like, absolutely, just like, oh my God, now we see the violence inherent in the system. The police are violencing my property. Okay, all right. Let's see here. So we already watched that. This is just an overhead view. Some people are getting very impolite. Truck off, freedom posers, you're selfish. So lots more counter protesters are starting to come out. A lot of people making the joke like honk if you're X. Here you can read it. So that's pretty obvious. Okay, we're gonna get into the heavy shit. Are y'all ready for this? I don't even know if I'm ready for this. This is really disturbing stuff. Just gonna boost my mic a bit. Oh God, here we go. Okay, all right, let's do it. Shit. Surveillance video appears to show anti-vaccine protesters trying to set apartment building on fire. The trucker protesters rolled through Ottawa after drivers decided to protest vaccine mandates. According to CTV News Ottawa, the truckers are responsible for delivering products all over the country, but they don't want to abide by the COVID-19 vaccine requests from local, state, and official governments. Protesting on Saturday, the groups waved Confederate flags and Trump flags. The Vancouver mayor told truckers to stay out of his city since they have a 95% vaccination rate. But in Ottawa, the protest took a turn after midnight when residents near the protest began shouting out of their windows for protesters to go quiet and go home. Yeah, this is trigger warning for sure. According to surveillance video, some of the protesters went inside an apartment building and attempted to start a fire. Screen captures of the videos were posted by Matias Munoz, who explained that two people brought fire starter bricks into the lobby at 5 a.m. Holy fuck. We were able to see the building's video footage of the event, Munoz explained in the post. These two men got into the lobby and began lighting the full package. The building is old and has wood paneling on the walls. It is also located at the epicenter of the convoy protest in Ottawa's core. One of them taped up the door handles so no one could get in or out. This is the most insidious part of the experience, besides the lighting of the fire. He went on to say that some of his neighbors saw protesters become very aggressive and angry at the tenants in the hours leading up to the fire. See the full thread below. Yeah, this one's been kind of churning in my gut. So this is the image. This is security. So this is them lighting the brick. This is them taping up the door handles. Be careful for the people who don't support the truckers to cause as much trouble as possible in hopes or pinning it on the truckers. They can't win the argument, so they have to throw mud. Hey, Golf and Crypto, when we have spent over a week showing evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence of very extreme behavior, the argument that these are false flags or that these are people trying to paint the truckers to make them look bad gets thinner and thinner and thinner the more you use it. Like, what are you going to say here? Like, oh, these are just bad apples, totally void of context here. You know, it's not like this has anything to do with the current discussion. Like, what are you going to say? Come on, we're all talking about this. After a night of blaring horns and fire horns until 4 a.m., some residents had yelled and pleaded with protesters outside to stop. As the fire was being lit, a tenant walked by and nervously asked who they were. One admitted being part of the convoy protests. So how's that argument doing there, Golf and Crypto? How's that doing? The tenant quickly got into the elevator, and arsonists continued to ignite the package. Now I feel bad for saying Bernadette. L, yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to say anything, Jay Roach. But yeah, take that L. Once lit, it grew and nearly touched the wood panel walls. The arsonist escaped out the side door as video shows the fire growing. You can see fire. You can see that this is wood. This does look like a rather old building. That's paint. I don't even see like sprinklers on head, but we don't have a ceiling view. This is happening at 5:23 a.m. 0206, so everything tracks. Ground elevators. The funniest thing I've heard on U.S. left-leaning news and repeated by CNN is the Nazi flags and Confederate flags. Those people run off right away. I'm in Louisiana and seem to know more. Golf and Crypto, don't listen to U.S. news about... Yeah, try to listen to... Yeah, don't talk... CNN is dog shit. You should not be listening to anything from CNN. Jesus. They do the same thing in the States. The left is losing the culture war. Hey, Golf and Crypto, they have us fighting a culture war so that they can win the class war. I think Republicans really need to wake the fuck up about who's like, you know, trapped by their own culture. Conservatives are incredibly trapped by their culture right now. A bunch of people are sitting in fucking like listening to horns for weeks on end to try to make their point across. That sounds like torture. After speaking with many residents, it became clear that certain protesters outside became very aggressive and angry at the tenants in the hours leading up to the arson. So look at that. Someone went and talked to residents, and they all seemed to agree that there were people who were very aggressive and angry at them leading up to this arson. Not all protesters, but a few, not all, but a few, screamed and were clearly upset by the confrontation earlier in the night. A Good Samaritan was walking by the door outside and saw the fire. Luckily, the door opened after some struggle with the taped handles. That line really stuck out to me. He got in and was able to extinguish the flames. This is insane. Insane to me. Were they viewed exiting a truck, doubtful as fuck, wood paneling where? I mean, we showed it. We showed it right here. Right here. See, panels? Those are thin particle board. It's about yay big. It's about yay thin. Yay thin, yeah. Mandated is far worse than a few horns. Excessive noise for long periods of time causes hearing damage. I've never been to a protest where I have to damage my internal organs in order to attend it. I think that's insane to me. It is clear to us as residents that this was a blatant reprisal by protesters. Not only have they subjected Ottawa residents to widespread harassment, assault, and aggression, but now an attempt to light an entire building on fire. Like, you can cope. You can huff that copium as much as you want, but there's a very clear pattern here. What I think in like courts and shit, they call it like a fact pattern. They call it like the events leading up to. So like if you were to try to say this is some lone wolf, it's really hard to explain why someone would get so whipped up to try to murder dozens of people. It's really hard to find justification. But if you come at it from the proper context, which is these protests, that people are getting angry with each other, like, fuck you, get on my city, and no, we're staying here, we're holding the line, you can easily understand how someone gets so whipped up in their us versus them mentality that they want to try to murder a bunch of people. I know, Loud Tyrant Youth, it's so insane, and I can't believe people are trying to like hand wave this away. Like, what are you going to say? You're going to start not believing the people who almost got burned? Like, what's happening here? Our hope is that the Ottawa Police and Jim Watson Ottawa will call for an immediate and firm resolution to the convoy's occupation. This incident could have ended much, much worse, that they'll heed the calls. For anyone wondering how I got the footage, the building manager is a cool dude and let us see it. Police were called once the fire remnants were noticed in the morning and they are investigating. Also, the tenant who interacted with the arsons did file a report. Police are pulling it all together and taking statements from tenants in the building. And I think I remember seeing the police, I think at this one, we're going to see the police chief in there somewhere I came across. Yeah. Like I remember him contacting. There's literally photos and people's statements and someone admitting to being involved with the protests. Yeah, like as from where we are, it's about as damning as you can get. Look, we have an actual face. It looks like some young white guy, brown hair, short. This is them taping up the doors. I don't care. This is psychotic. This is like what's happening. Like you guys are bringing bombs to a protest. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's such an insane escalation. And this is kind of exactly what I was worried about, is that like people are so invested. Yep. Ignore the first question. Any real tangible proof they were licensed carrying truckers? Phoenix, cope harder, man. Like we have no evidence right now. I'm showing you the closest and cleanest evidence we have. None of the evidence we have actually confirms that they're truckers, right? It's just claims at this point. We're waiting for the police to do their job, to investigate, hopefully arrest these people. And even then, we don't know. We have to wait for that to go to the courts. And then these people need to have an opportunity to defend themselves in court. And only once that process is done can we actually speak with any fucking clarity. But if you're in the chat, and you're thinking, what part of this is the lie? Is it this image? Is this the image that's the lie? What about the one where there's clearly a fire after? Is that just made up too? All of this weird nonsense at the bottom that clearly looks like a video editor, 2X at work ground elevators. Is that just someone just made this all up? Like you have to accept that when people get little pieces of evidence, they're going to try to go with the most probable explanation. Might not be true. You know, we got to keep ourselves on that side of the line of I don't know. But currently, the people who are reporting on it are generally going to be pretty truthful because they're like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm going to spread the word because this is crazy stuff. And they have no interest to lie because lying just sort of like undercuts the message. A fire brick is... No, I'm not saying a fire brick is a bomb. I was using a metaphor there. Phoenix, sorry to be misunderstood. But I don't know. What is the difference actually between a fire brick and a bomb? Let's actually clarify that. The only difference between a fire brick and a bomb is the rate of like how quickly it takes for that building to become dangerous and deathly. A bomb will go off in like 60 seconds, 2 minutes, in whatever time it takes for you to set the timer and then leave. And then it goes boom and it's instantaneous. But a fire brick will take about 2 minutes for a fire to spread within those very high fuel areas and eventually become impossible to stop because there's so much fuel sitting at the center of the fire, right at the elevators where people won't be able to exit, and the doors were taped. So one of the main exits was being cut off. So it's not a bomb, but it's a distinction without a difference in my mind. I'm not really sure why you want to make that distinction. It's kind of insane. And yeah, Phoenix, we should not be trying to make bombs. What the fuck is wrong with you? Dude, what is wrong with you, man? What are you doing? I'm timing you out for that one. That's really fucked up. Jesus Christ, man. You show people someone trying to kill a bunch of people and their take is, no, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You should have done it better. You come back with that shit, Phoenix, insta-ban. I'm just going to kapwing, like, woo, sheesh. Fucking psychos in the chat, man. Oh my God. Jeez. Okay, let's get to some live footage because we've been doing a lot of reading. This is War Campaign. This guy's really fun. Police raid? He's out late. Kudos.
I don't know his name, but he had the tanks on the back.
How are you?
A fire is nothing like an explosion? No, it's different only in terms of time, right? Like fires. Yeah, I can swear as much as I like. It's it's a broadcast or whatever. It's for 18 plus if you can handle it. But yeah, no, I don't know what the difference here. The only difference between an explosion and a fire is the percussive force. But like for the person sleeping in their bed, there's literally no functional difference to the resident on the 8th floor. They will interpret a bomb and a fire almost identically, which is my life is being threatened. I need to get out right now, or else I might suffer injury or death. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, exactly. An explosion is a super fast fire. It's just like a higher rate of speed for the exact same thing. You oftentimes, actually, if I understand correctly, actually, let's qualify this a bit. Explosions do harm you through percussive force, through like the air waves moving so rapidly, it pushes all of your internal organs and they start to get bruised and stuff and you get hurt. So I guess there is a difference, but usually the end result is kind of what I'm focused on. We're not really, too worried about the process here. Like, geez. I know it was a metaphor in the first place.
How are you, brother? Wiped out, huh? Some stuff going down or just...
Oh, just Friday. Got here like 2:30 in the morning. Went to bed at 5. At 7:30.
That'll do it, man.
Last night. And my fucking back's just...
What's going on? I get some diesel.
What is with this?
It's just so ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. They're making themselves look dumb.
Well, actually, what's going to happen is you're going to get a reaction. For every action, there's a reaction. And the reaction here is going to be overwhelming support. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to quit.
They're going to try to drive people crazy. We just got to keep it cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, we want you to keep it cool. Well, I like War Campaign, but his bitrate is shit.
Of course not. It's like in Winnipeg.
Yes.
Massive convoy. You heard about what's going on there?
Yes, I have. A little bit. Tell me some more.
A little bit.
You probably know more than I do.
We've got boots on the ground there, too, as well as we know people that are very part of that organization.
So what's the situation in Winnipeg?
It's calm. It's festive.
Calm,
they got
festive.
The bonfires, but they did have an incident
Bonfires.
2 days ago where a local with a mask on ran down 4 protesters.
Well, that's the one I saw on on Telegram.
Everybody's okay. One did get to the hospital, has since been discharged. Nothing too life-threatening.
Okay. It looked like his leg was run over.
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
The guy fled the scene. RCMP caught up, or Winnipeg police caught up with him.
Yes, sir.
He struggled a little bit. He's been arrested. He's been charged.
Yes,
vehicular
sir.
this. There's a whole list of stuff.
Yikes.
Vehicular terrorism, basically.
4 counts of this, 2 counts of this, 2 counts of this,
and he'll get out.
Sounds like some BLM tactic.
Right, BLM. That's my buddy Pan.
Hey,
brother.
Got him.
Yeah, man. He's over there in Oregon, so he knows all about these tactics.
Nice.
Yeah, he's been actually.
I love how quickly they are to jump to a conclusion about who's driving the truck and motivations and all this stuff.
A court case for memes on the internet, believe it or not. Yeah.
Oh, for crying out
seriously.
loud.
Yeah, memes.
Yeah.
Over there in Washington State.
Yeah, I memed a politician one time until he cried. He said it was cyberbullying. So,
hey, never mind. Back in 2018, I was with a group called Mayflower. And
Mayflower?
Strike. A meme Twitter strike. Targeted individuals. We hit everybody from the Pope, CNN, Podesta,
This is really bad
Clinton.
footage.
We did support missions to Roseanne, General Flynn, of course, Trump.
Yes,
General Flynn, Trump.
That was during the big purge when they blasted out, what did they say, 80 million Twitter accounts.
The Great Purge. Okay, we got some more stuff from Ottawa. Let's check in on that. This is a stream from just 10 hours ago. So this is last night, Ottawa. And see if I'm getting... Yeah, I'm going to get DMCA'd for this stuff. Let's see here. There we go.
What's happening here with the police, protesters.
And then we'll probably bring up that Russell Brand bonfire of freedom. Yeah, it's definitely not a peaceful protest once you start trying to light buildings on fire. You've lost all moral high ground.
Probably another fire. Infraction.
Freedom Ottawa. That was a provincial flag.
How are you?
Hey, look, it's the police doing the shoveling. I thought... Why is it the police doing the shoveling? Freedom explosion. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Well, there's a lot less horn blaring.
Right.
So that's nice. That's good.
Yeah, sure. No. Right, for sure.
Okay, this is kind of mid. This is kind of mid. There's a Zello thread that I think was going viral. So let's see what's going on here.
Everybody that has jerry cans and food to go there and bring jerry cans. They can't stop everybody. At least one out of three people or one out of two people will make it there.
We need fuel trucks and tankers to head down in the convoys.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah, just...
Nope.
Yeah, Lone Sentry. There's no like live streams from like today. So we have to go as close as we can, which is usually usually just last night.
That's the thing. They can stop one fuel truck, but they can't stop thousands.
Can't stop thousands. Woo, sheesh. Pa bueno. Apparently, Ottawa police reportedly raiding trucker logistics base at Coventry. Apparently pulled a Trojan horse operation to get it to the perimeter. This tweet has been deleted. I think that's because it was police action. Well, we saw it for a little bit. Can we get it back? See, that's how good this footage is. It's like getting actively scrubbed. Yeah, it's getting actively scrubbed. Oh my god, in real time. Oh my god, actually? Sheesh. Can't even pull it anymore? Only get the first couple seconds? So yeah, it looks like a big line of trucks, and then it just deletes. Wow, that's so weird. Okay, getting more of the clip. So yeah, police got inside this barrier. There's a long row of tow trucks at the ready to remove transport trucks. I see 30 police officers dismantling the logistics camp. I'm worried these things are going to delete as well. Lots of officers. Protesters say they want to remove the fuel. Right now, police, with help of fire department, seem focused on removing the gas and propane tanks. There are more live streams from China? Wait, what are you talking about? Why would there be live streams from China? Like there's Chinese folk on the ground and they're just like kind of on Chinese YouTube. It's all in Chinese, maybe? And there's the police. Police have left with the fuel and propane but have not dismantled the camp. They have, however, cut off the supply route for protesters downtown. And he got himself What gun is that? That is a tear gas launcher, I believe. You can tell because it has that very distinct. Right here, you see that round barrel right there? That really large canister. See how large and round that is? You got a bunch of different. I think that's what it is. Yeah. And then you notice even on his tactical gear, he has extra shells. Maybe. I could be wrong. Why wouldn't it be live streams? This is 2022, but people actually have to wake up early and get there. Yikes Factory. The arsonists proudly declared themselves part of the truckers' convoy to passersby. Was it an actual towering idiot or just a grift? I mean, there's a very simple reading, right? People get into an argument over the convoy. Some are for, residents are against. Does this sound crazy? No. The argument continues late until the night. Does this sound crazy? No. Does someone coming in and following up on that argument in the middle of the night at 5 a.m. sound crazy? I guess not really. Some people get really pissed off. And being confronted by someone, maybe he did feel a tinge of pride. We're really going to stick it to them. They don't know my name. They can't tell. This whole building's going up in fire. There ain't going to be any security coverage. So yeah, I'm a trucker kind of thing. So that's one very strong possibility. Canada has some of the worst internet in the developed world, Lone Sentry. So like our data plans are so bad. That's part of the reason it's hard for me to do like IRL stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's too early in the morning. It's like 8 a.m. People are still having their coffees.
Sides and recognize what's going on. People think God help that you could just switch sides and recognize what's going on. People think about what's happening in this country. Sir, look at me in the eye. Look at me in the eye. Your little ones need to be protected. God.
Look how upset they get just for having their fuel taken away. Like, it's such a low bar.
Open your eyes, sir. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Stand up for your freedom, sir. Stand up for your freedom, sir. Stand up for your freedom. Stand on the right side of history.
How's your mom feel about you? Shame on you. Shame.
Usually when people say shame, it's like the whole crowd is saying shame. And then it's really effective because it shows moral condemnation from a lot of people. Just one person saying it, I don't know, man.
They were taking the fuel. They were having force there and not letting anybody in. They were showing force by standing there with their weapons and not letting anybody in to find out what's going on. That they came in.
Support from South Africa, struggling to find any live streams presently. Yeah, Crew 5 Nick. A lot of Canadians are still waking up. We have some live streams queued from yesterday evening. They don't have the best quality, which is why we're kind of checking in on some of the more curated footage that's trickled in. Right now we're watching a police action where they did like a Trojan horse attack in order to get inside and start removing the fuel. And now we're watching videos. Oh, cool. Thanks for the follow, Crew 5 Nick. And we're watching them get all super upset. How do your moms feel about you? How does your mom feel about you, your dude saying that? I don't know, man. Maybe their moms are watching.
And they were taking the fuel. They were having force there and not letting anybody in. They were showing force by standing there with their weapons and not letting anybody in to find out what's going on. That they came in.
Can you imagine the violence, everybody? The violence of the police to not let them in. Some truck convoy protesters seem stunned at this display of force, presence of carbine rifles. Can you fucking imagine? I will say I did not see police lay hands on anyone. No arrests here, just fuel seizure. These people have never protested in their lives, have they? They have no idea what it's like to protest, my God. Absolutely unhinged.
Shame! Shame! Shame!
There you go.
Shame!
There you go. That's how it's done.
Shame!
Better.
Shame!
Much better. Not a lot of people, though. Keep it up.
Move away, guys. Get back.
Oh, they're losing their cohesion. They didn't keep that up for very long. Ottawa police say they've arrested 2 people for mischief at Coventry protest camp, seized multiple vehicles and the fuel. I did not see the arrests. Okay, so maybe you just missed it. Some truck convoy protesters expressed their anger directly at police for this raid.
Take care of us. We take care of you.
I'll be the first. Take me down, assholes.
Nobody, my ass.
Look how aggressive she's being.
How dare you do something like this when we're fighting for you?
No, you're not. You're not fighting for police. Not once has the trucker convoy been about police. What are you talking about, lady? Cope harder.
You and everybody else.
Oh, okay. It's for everyone. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Well, I don't want your help.
Now you're telling me that was not excessive force?
Excessive force. Jesus Christ. These people, man. They're taking our property. It's excessive force. They seized a diesel tank. Sheesh. That's a lot of fuel. Police need freedom too. Ariku, usually police are the ones who crush labor movements. It's kind of why I find it so funny to be cheering on the police and demanding law and order. As someone who has like gone to lots of protests for all sorts of reasons, BLM, etc., the way the police are behaving is wholly different from my experiences and what I've like seen personally and like generally. Police need to enforce the laws that the majority of the population pass. And that's what's happening right now. The Ottawa mayor has issued a state of emergency, which gives these people more powers to go arrest the crimers. And this is a crime that's happening. So they're arresting the crimers. Yeah. The ass wide thing. Yeah, that's it's a meme. It's a meme for like truckers and stuff. You know, she's showing she's a trucker by wearing that jersey. What is it? Please pass wide and slow. Please pass wide and slow. You know, that's something you'll see on transports and trucks because like they don't have blind spots. I mean, the metaphors are just amazing, honestly. For those wondering, these are officers trained to maintain public order, and the large firearm you see held by left on right is a riot crowd control device that launches tear gas and rubber projectiles. Called it. Yeah, he's the riot guy. And those things should only be shot down at the ground because of enough percussive force to like seriously damage people. We've seen people in BLM protests get blinded by police who have used them as essentially just like weapons and shit. It's really fucked up. Okay, let's try to return to some of the live footage from just yesterday night. So this is just 10 hours old, and I'll keep looking in the background for live streams, but usually the case that we're watching this stuff from last night. Yeah, pass wide, not ass wide. A lefty saying cops should enforce the laws. I know, it's so fucking funny. Fund the police. Law and order. I think the way someone put it best is like, if your freedom terrifies others, it's not freedom. Like it's such a good statement. It's so good. And people are afraid, man. Like, we don't know when they're leaving. And they've made their point. And they're not making more points. Yeah. Okay, then. Wait, what? No. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I found a live stream and it's from Britain.
Do you know how many went missing since this bleeding pandemic started? Between 8 and 10,000 children in this country have gone missing under the watch of the social services.
Sheesh.
200 parents a year go to court. Not a court you know of. The courts that they hire imp them out. And that's going on all over the country. The social services are not fit for purpose. Cressida Dick is not fit to be up there.
What are you talking about?
Sir Dave Thompson in Birmingham, Chief Constable, he's not fit to be in office.
Yo, where are your trucks? Where's your trucks, boys?
And you've got to take them all out. And the way you take them out is through your common law. Get your common law going in your villages, your towns, your cities. They can't stop you then, because your common law is greater than their acts and statutes.
Hear, hear.
So get yourselves organised. Find out where your common law's being taught.
Holy shit, everybody. It's gone global. It's gone global.
Under common law, take your oaths. That's the only way you can do it.
Okay, we have a live feed from Monday in Ottawa. This is happening. Maybe they're full of shit. Wait, one sec, real quick. Raw footage. Are you just restreaming it? He says this is Monday. Does it look like the morning or does it look like the evening? I don't know. And of course, it's DMCA. Always with the DMCA. Stop it. Yeah, this is really bad footage though. So here is some stuff. Started streaming 4 hours ago. It looks like last night though. I think they're just kind of cheating. A lot of people are like, know that this is going viral, so they're just kind of like naming their thing like freedom this, freedom that, you know, even if it's not relevant. So you kind of have to like suss through. I think that British stuff is way more entertaining. I'm going to be honest. This is just people dancing. Oh God.
Slows down your respiratory system.
Yeah, exactly. Loud Tyrant Youth. That's kind of what You're a live stream from Britain? Yeah, I know, right? Lone Sentry. It's so good.
But when people have COVID and their respiratory systems are affected, why would you give them a drug that would slow down their respiratory system?
Look, he's a doctor.
Then put them into a coma, not give them any food or water, and put a do not resuscitate on them. Of course, they're going to die. The government did this while they were telling us to protect the elderly. So everybody, please remember midazolam. Don't forget.
You're reacting to this and have 13 hours from the ground? Yeah, you can send links, Fat Steven Seagal.
Get that. Now, people are servants. They think that they're our masters. The people that we vote for and we pay for, they're not our masters, but we are the cogs that make the world turn, and we have the power united.
Are you asking me for the link, or are you going to offer me a link? Is that what you're saying? They arrested 2 people for unable to show papers. I think we just covered that. It was the one where there's a giant propane tanker that got like taken away. The one where the police did the Trojan horse. We had an insider view on that. There's a reporter on the ground.
Our politicians are puppets of a corporatocracy. They're serial liars, cheats.
Serial liars, everybody.
Your words and your thoughts are being restricted and censored and deleted. And your travel is being restricted right now. You have to have quarantines, vaccines, tests, or whatever it may be. And then your words, which are your videos, those videos are being restricted and censored.
You're being
and
live
then your
streamed.
comments that you're putting up are being said that are fake news and being deleted.
No, only when you threaten harm.
Travel, your words and your thoughts are being restricted and censored.
Hey, I had to censor some people in this chat, but it's because they were threatening harm upon me. That's the only reason why.
You all order off Amazon, and I'm not saying people here, but everyone out there. While you're all ordering off Amazon and you're uploading to Facebook and Instagram, don't think that you're safe and everything is fine because...
Yeah, Fat Steven, the mood change is because of the state of emergency. Once that happened, like, police are like, okay, gloves off, I guess. And even still, we're not seeing scuffles. Like, it's wild.
Allies. We have to make them on our side. We have to break down
I'm just going to go to the washroom.
Win the hearts and minds of the police to protect their friends and family for the
Hydration.
future.
Hydration
not
check.
The government puppets of a corporatocracy. You have to start standing with the people. Stop bowing down like dogs and expecting to be rubbed on your bellies afterwards. It's all coming to us. It's our futures too. It's yours and your children's. So anyway, thanks very much, everybody. Subscribe to Monkey Magic News. Hello. Hello, how are you all doing? Yeah, we're all half dead, really, aren't we? You know what I mean? Spiritually dead, emotionally dead, physically dead. We're all walking about like zombies, to be fair. Came down from Glasgow, so I'd like to say a big thank you to you from Glasgow.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Monkey.
Yeah, thank you.
Monkey. I want to speak about a little bit of hope, because I've been defeated a lot recently, emotionally drained, just defeated like we all are, because we are the minority, and the majority are sleeping, but they're not really sleeping, they're just working in debt and watching Netflix, you know what I mean, like we all used to do, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think Mr. Corbyn mentioned it, a decentralisation of power, that's what we need in this country. And the only way I like. So I'm a little bit nervous because I had a little help for a joint. A decentralisation of power, and I truly believe that. Well, an
Trucker convoys did a press
Scotland
conference.
takes away the power from Westminster.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Scotland's sleeping at the moment, totally sleeping, and
Supposedly
we're
Trudeau
a
blamed it
nation
on the
of four
police.
nations, which is unique.
Yeah, Fat Steven, like Trudeau doesn't have a lot of options
Around
because his only option is like federal to call in the army, and no Canadian wants to see that. It's messed up. No live streams from China.
Here a long time ago. It's called the Stone
too
of
early.
Destiny up in Scotland. It's a coronation stone from the Queen gets coronated on, and all the kings and queens of England and Scotland have been made king and queen. It bypasses any law. It bypasses maritime law, common law. It's divine law. Okay.
Divine law,
So
everybody.
You don't need.
You see
for
that?
Example, what I'm trying to say
This is actually
you
about
don't
God.
need a referendum in Scotland to have another vote whether we need independence or not. All
Actually
we
about
need
God.
to do is gather people to go up to Scotland and be coronated on the Stone of Destiny, so we can make each
Sword of
individual
Destiny.
here a king and queen of Scotland.
There you go.
And then we have become an independent nation.
Ah.
And then we've taken away
And then-
half of Westminster power.
Ooh.
So the fight is not here, sadly, because this institution is cemented in like blood and cement and diamonds, basically, and it ain't going nowhere. And Scotland is small.
Yeah, optics.
So I would like
It's all
you
about
to
optics.
start thinking about coming up to Scotland to help me wake up the rest of Scotland.
Scotland.
So we can get independence.
Get your
Because that's a world
independence.
changer. It's a game changer. Getting independence in Scotland. It is, and we have the Stone of Destiny. It's divine law. It can't be beaten.
Divine
law.
law.
It
Everybody,
can be done.
we're going back to the Divine Right of Kings. That Monty Python clip is just getting funnier and funnier.
This is my idea. March on Holyrood. They hand power over to us, and symbolically we hand power back to Holyrood. And to Nicola Sturgeon, I'd say you have 2 years to implement new elections and nationalise the oil and gas industry and the electric industry. Because right now I can't even afford to heat my house.
Yikes.
Honestly,
That's not good.
I had to turn my oven on during Christmas and New Year just to get a heat. Because, I mean, they're animals, you know what I mean?
Ah,
And there's,
the dehumanization begins. Okay, so this is one source I found. Freedom Convoy 2022 call temporary pause in horn blowing. Participants in Freedom Convoy 2022 are calling a temporary halt to horn blowing as their campaign to end COVID restrictions in Canada enters its second week in the nation's capital. Out of respect for the Lord's Day, William Wallace coming to help. That's so fucking funny. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. Fucking so good. Out of respect for the Lord's Day, for members of our military who have sacrificed and who continue to sacrifice so much for our freedom, for the men and women in blue who are doing such a superb job protecting us. Interesting language there. And as a gesture of goodwill, members of our convoy will desist from the blowing of horns tomorrow, Sunday, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Wow, guys, that's so gracious of you. A whole 4 hours? Wowee. We would also like to express our condolences for the families of those workers who lost their lives in the recent Eastway tank explosion. Okay, that's just sort of what the horns started before 10 a.m. Tube Sock says. If you find you Ottawa Scotty's stream last night, his interview with the trucker driver Chris is powerful. If you seem to know better than me, Fat Steven, I'll look around for it, but you seem to know exactly what that is. So yeah, apparently this is live, but I don't know, you guys. I don't know. My senses tell me. My senses tell me it's not, just because of how dark it is. And also DMCA. Also DMCA. Okay, so this had bad quality. This was Ottawa last night. We've seen lots of Ottawa. We'll keep on it. We'll maybe scrub ahead while I look for that other one, the U Ottawa Scotty one.
Alright, let's check up.
Yeah, let's get to the trucks, everybody. Oh god, the DMCA. Everybody's just partying every time. Every time I just scrub around, there's no speeches. It's all parties. Anytime there's people, I'm just like, oh, it's just gonna be another party. Another DMCA. Okay, so yeah, let's watch this interview. Let's see who this This Freedom Convoy Canadian. 58 views? I don't know, man. I don't know.
How are you tonight?
Can you hear that?
Very well. My name's Hugh Ottawa Scotty. I think I tried to talk to you one time before. Do you want to talk to us just for a second and give us a sense of the situation right now? How's morale? What do you guys...
What I heard, that they stopped the fuel.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know what to say. But we are here. We won't go home.
You're not going home. How are you doing in here? Are you still warm?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. And are you rested? You doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
We got attacked last night.
You got attacked?
Sorry?
Police. We got attacked.
By the
You got attacked
police.
by the police?
Holy shit. Oh.
Some people.
Oh, okay. Tell us what happened.
Well, to be honest, I was sleeping.
Oh.
And they ripped the Canadian flag off the trucks.
Okay.
Oh, so they attacked your property. They attacked your property, they didn't attack you. They removed the Canadian flag because they think you're being very unpatriotic?
Police move in and help you out?
No.
Okay.
They told us to come back to the truck. And, like, to be honest, the guy over there, he talked to the police more, but he said he don't care. That's what he told me. No, I don't know. I wasn't the president. Okay. And we hung. Nobody shot. 3:30 in the morning. No one cut police. But you see what's going on.
So they're not helping you out?
I don't think so. No, no. You know, I mean, everybody here is in the working class. We pay the taxes for it.
What's up with the quality? I mean, I don't know, this is the only one I could find. Is there a different one? Maybe because it was like restreamed? Yo, you Ottawa Scotty, this is the guy. Okay, can we find the problem is that it's like buried, right? So somebody went and clipped it, but it's got really low quality, which is why we're having a hard time hearing it. And then like I gotta go through, you know, a shit ton. But hey, this is another live source, so let's see what this person has to offer.
What's up, guys? Thanks for joining you Ottawa Scotty on your Sunday night. We're gonna have a good time here tonight. Thanks for joining me. I'll just tell you what I've been doing for the last 5 minutes. Okay,
we're gonna skip ahead to any interesting shit.
I'm a you Ottawa Scotty.
9 hours ago.
I have a YouTube channel.
9 hours ago? Is that not the one we were on? Yeah, that's the one we were on. Here's the interview. Found it. Fucking
okay, tell us what happened.
Perfect.
To be honest, I was
what a click.
sleeping.
Okay.
And they ripped the Canadian flag
Brilliant.
off the trucks.
Okay. Did the police move in and help you out?
No.
Okay.
They told us to come back to the truck, and like to be honest, the guy over there, he talked to the police more, but he said he don't care.
Okay.
That's what he told me.
No sweat. There's a bit of a delay, Fat Steven.
Okay.
And we hung. Nobody shot. 3:30 in the morning. No one cut police to come to see what's going on.
So they're not helping you out?
I don't think so. Yeah,
okay.
No, like that's the, you know, I mean, everybody here is in the working class. We pay the taxes we pay the taxes to
is that better?
Us, to protect the citizen of Canada. But it's no helmet. They don't help. They just sitting there and we honk and everything. Look how many cars. Show to them. How many cars?
We've got a lot of police presence here, and your name is Christian then?
Yes.
So I guess what Christian's essentially saying is they have, when you were attacked and you asked for help from the police, they have not been responding.
We did. We honk, we flash, everything.
Okay.
Surprised the police aren't helping them.
Just one police car. I mean, he went to the police, said, hey, we got attacked, we need your help. And he said, come back to your truck. We don't care. I don't care.
Go back to your truck. We don't care.
And I guess the police, I don't know. I heard, he went today to another police officer and reported.
because it's our safety, it's everybody's safety here.
Right.
It's not just about, we are not here for vandalize, we are not here, we just want our freedom, our rights.
Our freedom.
As a
Freedom,
people.
brother.
We are hard working class here. Everybody's here supporting us, or they lost their jobs, or they know somebody who lose their job.
So what are you going to do when you run out of money? That's kind of the question I have, like, that's really been gnawing at me, is like, when they run out of fuel, like, this is expensive stuff. And I know that the funds from GoFundMe have been frozen. So I honestly, like, do these people have jobs to go back to? Like, what's going to happen? Are they going to start selling houses and stuff? Like, it's crazy. Everything this guy says is bullshit. We voted for Trudeau, most of Canada. This event was organized by alt-right neo-Nazi nutcases. Truckers were used as pawns. It's a pretty spicy take, JW. But definitely the we voted for Trudeau is, like, I think a really important part of this. We saw an interview yesterday of an elderly woman, and she was asked why she went out to protest. And she said, listen, we just had an election, and one of the major questions on that election, one of the major debates was mandates. And we elected Trudeau, but we give him a minority government, and the opposition is in complete shambles. And Fat Steven, come on, try to raise the conversation. If you can't handle the heat, then, put on better clothes.
I lost the job.
Give, Send, Go Truckers Fund is up to 4.2 mil.
Lost the job. We are here because there's nothing to come back home to. I'm not here because, to party.
There's also
I'm
Adopt a Trucker.
To make a clause that I lost my job. I have a family behind me. I need to support them.
Yeah, protesting is hard.
It's sad, man. It's sad. I thought this country is Democrat country, but it's not. It's communist Democrat.
It's communist, everybody. We didn't just have a democratic election where we had a leader. It's actually, this is communism.
What country are you originally from?
Romania.
Romania.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you fucking joking me? Are you fucking joking me? Right beside the Freedom Convoy 2022, which has raised $4 million apparently, is the Legal Defense Fund for John Eastman, the man who drafted the PowerPoint to overthrow the U.S. government. This man drafted the legal rationale that was used to try to overthrow the U.S. government on January 6th. I just want to make this super fucking clear how insane it is to me to see these two things side by side. Like, this is an indictment of this website. The fact that they're putting money towards John Eastman? Are you? Wow, that is insane. That is insane. Doesn't even work. Site's fucking broken. Wow. What? Wow. Just, they took the money and run? Bunch of people gave money and now the whole site doesn't work? Or is it just a temporary thing? I don't know. It's pretty dodgy. That's insane to me. I'm sorry to get stun locked on that. But John Eastman, his name is written in fire in the pages of history, in the annals of history. Fuck that guy.
I live communist time.
You live?
Yes.
You live?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When did you come to Canada?
2004.
But the alt-right crap is all people do this political siding. People go to rather than listen to humanity. Hey, we're listening to it. And part of me sympathizes with people who realize the real struggles that come with protesting. And I hope it ignites an activist spirit in them. Like, they're actually going to realize just how difficult it is to change the government. And maybe they'll start to sympathize with movements like BLM that have been trying to change the government for decades.
2004. And tell us a little bit about Romania, because I'm I don't know anything about communist countries. I don't know.
Well, I was, when the communist collapsed, I was 14 years old. I was young. But I remember things. We didn't have, was very, very communist time. They didn't give us food.
Do people know what the word communism even means anymore? Like, it's so weird to call Canada a communist country.
They keep us under control. We couldn't do anything without them to know. Was very, very, very controlling.
Okay.
And this, they wash brain people.
They wash.
I mean, you want a car, you go to the bank. You want a truck, you go buy the truck. It's just about working, But when it's time to your words as a Canadian citizen, nobody listens to. Hello. No, nobody.
People aren't obligated to listen to you. We don't have to watch this part of the segment, right? We don't have to listen to your opinions about how Canada is not a democracy and is actually a communist country.
Listen to. Nobody listens to. And that's, let's say.
BLM set fires had their funding shut down under investigation. One leader already sentenced to 4 years for tax evasion. Yeah, Fat Steven. I mean, it's absolutely possible that individual organizations that sprung up around BLM could be specifically bad. Like I know that the Californian BLM movement is in what is it, like delinquency or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that BLM was worldwide. You can go and pick at some people, some organizations here and there. And most people would probably agree with you that maybe they did things wrong or maybe they didn't do things totally perfectly well. But you're not going to have a movement as massive and as popular as BLM that literally went worldwide. Canada, European countries, you saw protests out in Asia, which is amazing. You're not going to see that without a few bad apples. Yeah, it's just kind of part of the equation.
We have the right to be in Ottawa. This is the capital. We have the right to tell them exactly what we need.
I would also love for people to show me what the hell they're talking about. Everybody keeps talking about the BLM damages. Are you all going to send me footage from America? Because BLM was pretty chill here. I think the only really crazy thing I saw was the leader of Toronto, a BLM. She had some pretty weird views about race, but that's it. That's all I know about. So yeah, if you guys got some footage, I guess, yeah. So fires, vandalism is acceptable? Yes, I'm absolutely just totally saying all fires and vandalism is acceptable. Yes, Fat Steven. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
They told us to go home and to talk to our MPs. You think the MPs...
Pat King is a white nationalist. This is true. He is chief leader. I don't know about that. That's interesting. He preaches superior race theory. Yes, we have heard that. I couldn't even put it on stream. I don't want to spread that kind of propaganda. The manifesto of demands he released to the Canadian government amounts to what's called a soft coup. Yeah, also known as a legal coup, basically saying we're removing you from power. We just had an election. We just elected a leader, and now these people are trying to overthrow the results of that election, just really delayed and really weakly. They're not doing it like the Americans.
He's gonna come here. Hey, I had the trucker yesterday. He's not happy because he lost his job. What we can do? Nobody's gonna hear.
Get a new job.
And that's sad.
Get a new job.
That's sad.
What? Oh, wait, you lost a job. What the fuck? What is wrong with these snowflakes? People lose jobs all the time.
I don't want to be here. Nobody. No trucker here.
Yeah, you're trapped. You're trapped by your own cultural movement.
Wants to be here.
Slowly realizing that all this pain and suffering you're inflicting upon yourself and your family is actually going to amount to zero political change.
No people on the streets.
It's a tough realization. It's really tough for some people.
We are not here to party. We are not here to.
Buddy, I can barely show the protest without getting DMCA'd.
Damage the capital of Canada. We are here to express our rights, to see the pain, but how much they damage us.
When people talk about how there's a mixture of people, this is a really good interview for that. This person is very much trying to speak to the average trucker who has a family he's taken care of, and it's a labor rights movement for him. And for that, I absolutely agree with him. But when you start to get into politics, he gets really fucking confused. He just starts saying, it's the communism, it's the fascism. And it's just do y'all know what any of these words mean? Yeah, Greg's all of these words mean shit. I remember somebody was beefing with me, and I asked them just to define what Marxism is, which for the record is the description of struggle between the classes, and how to empower the proletariat. But this person could not provide a definition, and he got challenged again and again. And the more he got challenged, the more he just, freaked out and was oh, haha, why can't you define it for everybody? And it's just kind of a really damning, when you say to someone, what's that word mean? And they say, well, I know what it means. Why don't you tell everybody? And it's this guy doesn't even know what the fucking word means. Yeah, exactly. Loud tyrant youth. I know what it means, but why don't you tell everybody so that, for the people in the audience who don't know. It was so good. It was so funny.
We are damaged people. We are done. We are damaged.
True.
Because people...
I remember damage. I remember damage.
But they don't want to get vaccinated, but they don't because to don't lose their jobs. They don't because they have a mortgage. They have a rent.
Yo, all you have to do is quarantine. This is the problem I have. You don't even have to get vaccinated to keep your job. So that's why, like once I learned that, like so much sympathy went out the window.
They have kids behind.
Part of an adult is realizing that you have to sacrifice some of the things you want for some of the things you need. And you might have to sacrifice what you want, political activism, for what your kids need, which is food on the table.
It's sad, man. It's sad, you know, when you think you're in a free country, but you're not. Right. Every citizen in this country has the right.
Man, imagine a Canadian saying we don't live in a free country. Just the privilege. It's so off the charts.
To tell them what's the pain. What is the pain? And that...
Sorry for all the pauses. The confusing thing about explaining socialism, communism to people without a political science degree is they need to understand the political spectrum on an XY axis, not just left and right. Yeah, absolutely. You often might have seen the political compass memes that have been going around that are also kind of really basic and dumb. I've also gotten into conversations where people just reject the whole left right thing completely out of hand and say all politicians are the same, and I feel like that's like a whole nother step removed. Like labels often get in the way, but it's kind of like how we shorthand a lot of this stuff, and so like I'm not like it's okay sort of having a left-right spectrum, but it is like hyper simplistic, and I can see why some people just want to toss it all out the window, and some people just like retreat into buzzwords and like, you know, like memeing and stuff.
The government, they should listen to the people. What they want, how we can work out with them to make these citizens
What do you
happy,
want?
because they are
You're not listening to us.
Need them. They need us more than we do with them.
Actually, no.
You know?
That's this guy's he's bluffing right now. He says he thinks he has leverage. Right there, he just made a massive mistake. That was a massive mistake right there.
How we can work out with them to make these citizens happy, because they are...
How can we work out with them? How can we work together? And then the next statement?
They are the people we need. They need us more than we do with them.
That's a threat. That's a threat. They need us more than we need them. Like, that's basically saying we got leverage in this situation. Buddy, you ain't got no leverage. Police are about to clap down on you clowns, and then the movement's going to scuttle and go to ground, and everybody's going to cry on social media about how they've been so oppressed by the police state, and oh geez, activism's hard. Yeah, I hate to be condescending, but I've just lost so much sympathy. Like, these people are saying, why isn't anyone listening to us while they've occupied a city blaring horns? It's hard to listen to you when you're blaring a horn, you know, just like straight up.
Right. You know, right.
It's interesting what you said, Christian. We in one of my interviews, we talked to a woman named Leah, and she was actually from Cuba.
Yeah.
Or had spent time in Cuba.
I tell you a story.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry to...
Story time.
No, yeah.
Story time.
A guy here, Cuba guy, and you know, Cuba is a communist country. Still it's communist country. He come here to my truck. He left his kid and Canadian wife, and he come to me to my truck.
Leaves his kids and wife.
Say, what do I need? Yeah. And I know where he's from. And it's very painful.
Okay. Yeah, solidarity, man.
Right. It's very painful.
Solidarity, brother.
To see.
All right, let's see what else is there.
Somebody.
Got ourselves a nice little.
There's a few, but for the most part.
They're all living in a massive echo chamber right now. Yeah, Mary, and I think the hardest thing I've been struggling with, honestly, for years, is like whenever I see a lot of things happening to people, I don't think it's individual fault. I think that there's some sort of system, and I think a lot of people have gotten gamed by like the outrage algorithms that are built into many of our social media. You'll even see a lot of the people who are coming here to be outraged, to be upset, even if like we're all super chill. And so part of me, in order to keep the sympathy in my heart, I have to remind myself that a lot of these people don't, willingly go down the route of misinformation. The misinformation happens to them. I think all of us can express having an experience where we're like, oh shit, I remember spreading that thing on internet, and then the next day I found out it wasn't true. And I think we have to be really cautious to not like vilify people who become misinformed. It's a totally new critical media literacy that people didn't learn in schools because this is new technology. So I think that's a huge factor, and it's a good way to kind of like, tamping down on the anger, and to remind yourself these are people too, and to remain sympathetic even if some of them are like extremely dangerous, or if some of them are being incredibly rude and disrespectful. But there's lots of normies, lots of like average folk who like aren't that, who just like are coming out. Yeah, exactly. It feels good to be angry. There's been studies into this about what types of information spread, and anger is like top. It's like anger and then awe, like AWE, like I'm in awe of this glory. Those are like the most viral stuff. It's part of the reason I'm popping off right now. Like I've been doing really chill cooking shows and like, okay, whatever, it's just some cooking show. But as soon as you start talking about something that everyone's outraged about and wants to talk about and get their 2 cents in, yeah, you start to get a lot of engagement. And it's a huge way that our social media systems sort of organize our society. And I think that's kind of like a real problem. People aren't organizing organically, they're organizing via social media, and the social media is directing them down these paths where it increases us versus them mentality, because that improves engagement. So a lot of people, left and right, are finding themselves in echo circles, finding themselves in curated media spaces, spending a lot of their time expecting to get angry by looking at videos on their phone, and that cycle is going to just keep like feeding into itself, because it feels good for your brain. You feel righteous. You feel like you're correct. You feel like you're the good person when you're angry at someone. That righteous anger feel. And anger is very important. Most protests have anger in them. You're angry at the system. But as we're seeing here, the anger being showed by the truckers is just all over the place. The messages aren't coherent. They're not cohesive either. They're not like all talking about the same thing. And when they're talking, they're not making a lot of sense. Not coherent, not cohesive. And the anger isn't really directed except to overthrow the government. And we just had an election. So people are really deeply unsympathetic to this outrage, because it's just so hard to sympathize with it. There's a difference between reacting and responding. Yeah, absolutely. Like taking that little beat, that little half beat, to kind of like, wait, what do I actually think here, rather than just launching into it. Yeah, I think that's really important. Like being able to observe yourself and just have that observer's distance. Unfortunately, I think the big failure for Canadian society is that there was no way to be proactive about this. There was no way to reach across the aisle to conservatives. I've been watching this slowly, like the let's say the bipartisanship, or like the talking between parties. Like we've been polarizing, is what I'm trying to say, and I don't know how to stop it. I don't know how to arrest it. We're all just so like subsumed by our social media. And I'm hoping that like if we're more intentional with our social media, we can curate non-angry spaces, chill spaces, brave spaces. But it seems pretty difficult, like going against the current kind of thing. JW says, commercial vehicles in this occupation will lose CVOR certificate, plates, driver's license, and liability coverage, and God forbid their vehicle is leased. These charges will happen weeks later. Yeah, there's going to be a massive fallout. Absolutely, JW. Greg says, I'd be happy if people just grasp the difference of political systems and economic systems. Most can't grasp a democracy, can adopt. I don't understand that last sentence, but yeah, most people can't grasp what it is a democracy or socialism is. I hope that people live in a government so stable and peaceful, people aren't like, it isn't mandatory that everyone understands how the government works. But unfortunately, that's a dream. That's a utopia. Most people have to invest themselves in politics, or else like you get bowled over. The Emergency Act means your truck will be seized. Fuck. It is a world of hurt coming. Oh my God. That is a really good point. Yeah. Yeah. The problem is that like once they lose their jobs, lose their livelihood, in massive debt, like these people are not recovering. They're going to get way more pissed off. They're going to become radicalized when the state kind of like claps down really hard. So that's, I mean, it's the right answer. It's the correct consequence. I've been watching conservatives like hurt themselves stepping on rakes over and over again, and then like blaming the system. And it's just like, it's so hard to watch. It's like, you can't seriously believe there are no consequences, right? Like the party of personal freedoms and personal the party of personal responsibility is like struggling so hard with the consequences of their own action. Like, fuck, man, like, come on, what do you guys expect? What do you think is gonna happen? People just like totally cool with you just partying every night, night after night, night after night. Like, that's not even like, who does that in their 30s? Like even like in their 40s, who's got the fucking energy? Like, it's wild. It's like -20. Like, y'all are forcing it so fucking hard. And it's just kind of embarrassing, you know? I'm just like, I don't see how this turns out good. I don't see how like we level out after this, you know what I mean? All right, see
Feel for what's happening.
Sorry, I gotta mute the partying or else I'll get DMCA'd.
The police are making moves. They have moved on the Coventry Road. Convoy seized the fuel and made some arrests, handed out some fines.
Hey, we got some messages. Truck Trudeau right to Gitmo for treason. Okay. Thank you, truckers strong. Okay. Mandate no vax freedom. Huh. Okay. Fight for our kids' freedom. Okay. Stop me when we stop reading platitudes.
If you want to see what the Coventry Road location is all
My body, my choice. Go fuck yourself.
about, please visit my live stream from
Protect our children.
2 days ago.
Libre.
And we were lucky enough to
Libre
get to talk to Mike
Libre
there,
choix.
the head boss.
Libre choix. Free choice.
Out in that location.
Liberty of choice, not my body, my choice. Sorry, I misread that. Liberty of choice. A Canadian soldier died for freedom. Honor the something. Free Joe Rogan. These people are unhinged. Joe Rogan's not in jail. What are you guys talking about? He's not a political dissident. What the fuck?
Some very interesting interview. I would highly recommend that you go and check that out. And basically what we're trying to do
That was a good interview. So thanks for whoever linked that up.
tonight is just get a feel. I mean, we've got a lot of Ottawa residents out here sort of in support of the truckers and you know, getting involved in the party aspect of this. But that's only one facet of this situation here. I mean, these guys are here for a reason. They're here for a purpose. That conversation we just had with Christian sort of paints the picture. Looks like we got a bit of a loose connection here, boys.
Loose connection there, boys.
Absolutely beautiful truck. Some of these guys look a bit tired. So we're going to come back tomorrow, hopefully with some new equipment. And
I caught a few of these people pooping on the sidewalks around my house last night, Tyson. Oh my God, what the fuck?
Guys, I'm completely dedicated to this.
Jesus, people pick up after their dogs.
I'll be down here as much as I can this week. I think I'm going to try and come down here every day. So please stay tuned to my YouTube channel. We're going to be down here every day as much as I possibly can. I'm going to try and spend more time down here because this is the situation is constantly evolving on a day-to-day basis. It's different every day. The vibe here was pretty tense when we got into the market. Outside of where the truckers are, the vibe is completely different.
That makes a lot of sense.
Actually, to be perfectly honest.
Vibe ought to be different. Liberté à nos enfants. Freedom for our children.
All of these trucks have been here since last Friday. And this guy's been here since last Friday. Kind of an interesting setup here. Looks like maybe homemade. We've got...
Oh shit, I gotta go. Yeah, I've been missing out on a conference. I forgot that was happening this morning. So yeah, we're gonna raid. I gotta get going onto work. I was on the Hippy Dippy recruitment rumble the other night, and there was this one amazing clip that I thought was just so friggin' funny. So we're gonna watch that real quick. This is me trying to do an intro song which is extremely cringe. I will absolutely admit. But CTV, who's like the conservative host, he just like does not enjoy this song. So we're gonna watch how that plays out.
Be weird, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I actually wrote an intro song. You guys ready for it?
No. Yeah, let's go.
Let's fucking go, guys. Wait, let me increase the quality real quick. Let me increase it. Look how fuzzy that is. Hey everyone, I'm weird. I want everyone to be weirdo. I do a cooking show. Fuck up a ton, yeah. Rich food for poor folks Saturdays at 6 p.m. Just chatting. Politics and news. Oh, I react Andy. I play games and the blues. Woo! So come on, join the community, and you'll be weird like me. Woo! Top tier atmosphere. You can find all this at twitch.tv/beweird. Sorry, CTV.
That was beautiful.
CTV could not deal. He could not deal. He's like, bro, you gave it to me twice, man. I had to listen to that bullshit more than once. God damn, my guy. Jesus. So yeah, that's kind of the outro for tonight. I hope you all enjoyed your stay. Thanks so much for coming around. Give a like, give a follow. This is me on Twitter, twitter.com/beweird. If you want to find out when I'm going live, always post there. You can give me a follow. Check out when I'm doing other weird, strange shit. We got a poetry slam coming up in Montreal if you live here in Montreal or want to visit. And yeah, come check it out. It's going to be great, everybody. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So I'm going to go raid Mr. Geek. He was one of the hosts for the Hippy Dippy last night. So we should go get him to sit up in his chair. If you're watching it on YouTube, I'll see you later, YouTubers. Thanks again for hanging out. Y'all are wonderful. Hey, Eduardo. Looks like you're full of it down your neck of the woods. Oh, boy, Eduardo. Yo, oh, no, he's got the video. Yo, Tyson, send that to me. Yo, DM me. We'll watch it tomorrow. If it's not TOS or whatever. But okay, we're gonna figure out how exactly to raid Monsieur Geek. He is a francophone. He's a French guy. He's pretty based. He seems pretty all right, and he's live right now. It looks like he's doing some art, maybe. So let's go give him a hello and some follows. He seems pretty all right. See if we can get the whole gang. Get the whole gang going. I just have to remember how to actually spell his name. He's got a really weird spelling. Mr. G2EK. Oh my god, my guy. All right, everybody. Go on, say hello to. Go and say hello. Give him a little follow. Give him a little perk. Let's see if we can get him to sit up in his seat. That's the goal. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone. Rating.